here. Okay, so you're playing music.
As we do sometimes.
And you're in a studio.
Maybe.
And you've been hired to come and play for this act, and you're doing this cool song, and you write this cool little riff in it, but you've been paid $500 to be there.
What'll it do? What'll it do?
What'll it do? What'll it do? That's the riff, and that becomes like iconic. It's a TikTok thing. What'll it do? What'll it do? What'll it do? People are doing this.
Yes.
And it becomes a thing, and you're like, I only got $500 for that. That thing just took off like a.
Like you got $500? What the? You guys got paid.
I mean, TikTok's a thing if you don't know what it is. Yeah. It's like all the young kids watch it. I do too as the old man trying to watch it, but it's and I enjoy it because it's funny. But anyway, you got your $500, you're happy, but then you see that this song is grossing millions now, and you want to get paid.
But you did.
Yeah, tough titties.
You got $500.
You got $500 and you agreed to it. But anyway, so Jonathan and I are actually in rare agreement on this video probably because we're doing like work for hire versus session and versus all other
like
stuff.
If you actually get royalties, are you a songwriter?
And how this whole process works when you go in there. And like, before we start, like just, if you're like a band having fun and stuff, making music, don't get all serious and start making contracts in your basement.
No, that kills it. That's
I've
so
seen this
dumb.
happen so many times. Like, well, I want this percentage. Like, bro. And then somebody's gonna be like, no, you should have it all settled.
Just that whole thought, like, man, we can't play these songs out yet because somebody's gonna steal them and like turn it into a hit song. Like, if it was that easy to turn it into a hit song, yeah, no. Play your songs, have fun, and enjoy it. By God. So
yeah, just have fun. Don't take it so seriously. You don't need to form like a management label or like some weird like arbitrary thing just of pretense to protect yourself from the things that aren't going to happen. Anyway, disclaimer aside, now let's get into the details and nuts and grits. So a lot of this is weird because it stems back to the old days of Motown and stuff too, when artists were being like taken advantage of fruitfully and regularly. And it goes back to even Buddy Holly, like when he signed his first production deals with his first producer, gave him 50% of everything. Buddy wrote everything, played everything, but this guy was recording it, and Buddy signed up for this. The deal was shit, but he agreed to it.
Yes.
And so if you agree to it, I'm kind of like, hey man, like you made the deal with the devil.
Sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
But let's go into real life. Like, let's not talk about like history as much. Let's talk about now. And like, what's happening in Nashville, what's happening in Indiana, what's happening in LA, New York, or North Carolina, wherever you're writing songs and whatever labels you might be working with or whatever production teams, or if it's just stuff that's getting ready to go out though.
Yeah.
Let's say you and I write a song.
Yes.
Together.
We
would probably want to come with the agreement that we're writing a song together.
Sure.
50-50, right?
Yeah.
Cool, fist bump to that. Or should we shake hands? Because, we're both, we're very safe here.
It's true. We would have, if it was real, we'd have spit in our hands first.
Yeah, and like cut our hands too. Like
blood brothers. That's right.
That's cool. I just like 80s movies. I'm thinking. Sorry, just like all the stuff they did. Like God, we were so much cooler in the 80s and 90s.
It's true.
Is the peoples. God, it's badass. Anyway. But let's say like you have a song.
Yep.
And you just ask me to come in and play guitar parts on it.
Different thing.
And let's say like, but I start coming with this great riff.
Yes.
And I'm like, hey, this riff is going to make this song. You're like, dude, that riff makes the song. Yeah. Like, you are now a songwriter in this song. Because like I
could say that,
and you would say that because I'm me.
For you,
and my riff would be because amazing.
We had spit on each other.
Yeah, we've spit on each other. That's something you have to come to agreements with, obviously. But if I go in there and I came with this great riff, and then Johnny gives me $500, which would be weird for you to pay me to play with you.
I think. For a lot of people, right? And I think people are probably more aware of some of these things because of, in part, YouTube, right? Because you got great guys like Tim Pierce and Tom Bukovac who are great session players who have sort of opened that world, pulled that curtain back a little bit to guys like us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, if you are a session guy and someone writes a song and it's a melody, with lyrics and there's a chord progression implied or that they're strumming on the guitar or whatever, and then they hire you as a session player, and you come in and you write your riff and you play your solo and you play fills throughout or you play a cool rhythm part, like that's what you got paid to do. You're supposed to be writing hooks that make the song better. That literally is your job. That's what that $500 or that $50 was. I've done lots more $50 sessions.
Or that $25. I've been paid $2,500 for sessions to go in there for like literally 2 hours. I was playing and comping stuff on a computer. He took whatever he wanted to do with it and cut it, splice it, do whatever he wanted. This is in the early days of Pro Tools.
I mean, you literally can get famous guys like Peter Frampton for $100, you know, $150. You can send him your song. He'll play it, send you all the stems, the WAV files, cut it up however you want, and he doesn't own any part of your song. He didn't write part of your song. That's the deal, you know.
And it's like, because Derek brought up the Ring of Fire trumpet part,
right?
Dun, 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 which has like become iconic with it.
Sure.
But again, that's a work for hire type of issue.
Exactly.
It's like some of the Buddy Holly. I love Buddy Holly. So some of his like piano parts were actually played by the producer's wife. They're already getting 50%, so they didn't need to get any more. But it's like Buddy still wrote the songs, and we all know that he wrote all the songs. But that arrangement was made prior.
Right.
You have to go in there with your head on.
Well, and it's a different thing if you're a band, right? And you're all writing the songs together. That's different than you come in, you're an artist, solo artist or whatever, you've written the song and then someone plays on it because you hired them as a studio musician. That's just a different scenario.
Well, even
right?
in like my one band that was decent in New York, that was like not a work for hire one, like the other lead singer guy and I, like we just agreed everything was 50-50, no matter who wrote what. And then the band was paid, like, you know, we all split everything 50-50 as far as performance, and we just had an agreement.
Yeah.
And then we would work out some royalties with them as we got bigger, and then we just blew up, and in a bad way.
He doesn't mean got popular.
Yeah. Oh.
More like implode.
It's like when you go really deep underwater and like the submarine is corrupt.
Yeah.
Those are great. We're all still good friends.
Now there is a situation like if you play something and you arrange a song or like add a part like as a session player, you could stop right there and say, hey, you know, I've changed this song, I've added to it, I think I'm a writer now, and you could work it out where maybe you don't get the $500 or the $50 that day.
That's the key.
You are now a songwriter. Right, because you can't really have your cake and eat it too in most of these situations, right?
I don't think you should. I think you got to ride that horse and see if you can run past the finish line.
And you got to say to yourself, does this song really have a chance of making me any money in the future? You might get like 79 cents in streaming royalties, or you could take your pay for being a session guy.
And not have to work for the rest of the week. You made $500. You're like, good, I'm done.
Right.
Thank you.
And if you're in a place like right, I was gonna say, but
if you live, you're good.
If you're an actual session, which you know this, if you're actual doing sessions in Nashville or LA or somewhere, like, you know, you stack those up all week.
No, I did a lot of commercial and jingle work back in my days in my bands when I was doing the Broadway, and then the teaching, and then my band stuff, and then session. I was hired as a guitar player for other bands, and they'd come in while they were maybe recording albums, and like they'd ask me like to sort of comp some parts, like comp some stuff for like some really famous cats back in my younger days too, and like I just got paid like a really small fee to be there. Sometimes I'd do it for free because I was the young guy in the room. I was like, I'm 18,
you're just trying to get,
and these guys are super famous. They asked me to comp with them so they can like work out some chord changes. You got it. I'm in the room with freaking cats like that. It's 100%, you know, all the way. But I understood that in my commercial work, the jingle stuff for like Carnival Cruise Lines to Macy's and everything. Like I was paid a set fee to do a jingle. I sell it. It's not mine anymore. They give me a lot of money.
And you're coming up with a little hook, right? The little guitar part.
I write an entire song sometimes.
That's sort of the deal. You like someone messaged us the other day and they wanted the music to one of the demos that you played for one of the guitars. They were like, does Baxter just like do that, or is that like a song? I was like, yeah, no, Baxter just does all these because that's what he does.
If you are curious, it's when they put the camera on, when I do a demo, I don't prepare anything. It's the first time I've ever played the guitar usually. I maybe tuned it, and then they press record, and we just play, and we see what happens. There's no song. It's just whatever the guitar speaks. Some are better, some are not. Sometimes I'm playing.
But you're
like,
really good at that, and that's the skill for being a session-y kind of person.
Yeah, it's a skill set. I'm not good at many other things. Like my wife thinks I'm a horrible person in general, and she tolerates me barely. My kids are disappointed when I come home from work.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen it.
There's
heartbreaking.
That guy.
It's heartbreaking.
You know what my kid's going to be for Halloween? We decided. I have three little boys. My youngest is going to be a dinosaur pickle.
Did you say dinosaur pickle?
Dinosaur pickle.
Okay.
And then Augustus is going to be baked potato.
Okay.
And then William's going to be dirt ball. I think this is a new TV show I'm going to create. Okay. Dinosaur pickle and baked potato.
My kids would definitely watch.
Doesn't it sound fun?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't steal it anymore.
It's like he goes right in line with what's out there.
Blippy's like shaking in his little overalls and suspenders right now. He's like, oh no, Baxter's coming up with dinosaur pickle. God, tell me if you want dinosaur pickle to become a reality, just let me know. I'll make it happen. somehow I can get Derek to do something.
Like, what should do it?
Isn't that funny, Sandy? I love it. Dinosaur pickle.
Dinosaur pickle.
I have a whole plot line and everything developed. Like,
I would like to be a writer on the show.
we can all be involved. And Chrissy can manage the toy line.
There you go. Done.
It's a pickle. It's like a little dinosaur arms and a little dinosaur face. Like, oh.
That's a pickle.
It's a pickle. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is what happens when you spend too much time with Jonathan. I need a break from him. It's just, we were on the phone at what was it? It was Friday night when we were talking about a gentleman's 2 rock order.
That's right.
Like after you finished the gig and I finished the gig.
Which is very exciting.
It's
2 rock orders.
We do like 2 rock orders. We like 2 rocks. They're so much fun. I can't
Pretty awesome 2 rock.
I'm gonna play one later. So that's kind of our rundown. We kind of agree you have to be open about it. Be aware that if you're being paid, you're being paid. That's it. Don't go back and cry and say I wrote this song. If you want to be a songwriter, let that be known.
Yeah, you can't talk about it after the fact. You got to talk about it on the front end. And don't worry, most of these songs will never do anything, so it won't matter. God. 99.999% of the folks
sounds like my father
that we're talking to, it's not going to matter.
my dad still thinks I don't have a job.
Well,
I mean, I really don't, but
pretty sure that's my whole family's view on my whole life.
You ain't gutting pigs. I just hang out in the guitar store. Oh, that's so sweet. When are you gonna get a real job, Johnny?
I can see my dad now. He's shaking his head. Hell of a thing. Hell of a thing.
My son's wearing them skinny jeans. My little girly son. Yeah, you don't want to meet Johnny's dad. It's a terrifying sight. Imagine this, but a lot taller, a lot bigger, and a lot hairier. It's you can't actually see his face. It's just all fur and glasses. And he's got a ZZ Top car. It's amazing. That's it. That's all I got. So let us know your thoughts on this. If you've had good, bad experiences with it, fun along the way. I think it's a pretty fun industry. As long as you're looking out for yourself, you're going to be okay. Don't sign contracts either. Just be really careful about that. That's a whole other story. Have a friend or a lawyer or somebody look at those. That's a whole other video.
And if you get a chance to go record with some of your friends, it's fun. So do it. Unless you're doing this as a living, just go do it.
Just have fun. Don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a douchebag. Don't take paying gigs from people who are doing it from a living. But have fun. There you go. That's our disclaimers. Hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Click that bell so you don't miss video chats like this in the future. I like that. It's our new effect. We'll see you guys next time.